Good morning, family, friends, and students. Welcome to the Belmont Academy School Farm. And this is a video of 24 hours before the arrival of day-old chickens or broiler birds, right? A Jamaican term we call them white fowl. Okay, so before you enter the poultry house, this is what we call a footbath, right? And a footbath is made to prevent microorganisms from entering inside of the poultry unit, because you have newly born chickens and then you don't want any microorganisms to get inside your poultry house, which will result into the chickens being maybe have some malfunctions or end up into mortality, right? So in preparing your footbath, first of all, you have to sanitize the footbath before, right? So you pour some water inside of it. You may pour bleach or soap and wash it out before. Then after, you will pour some freshly water inside of it. Then you can use disinfectant, or you can use J's. J's is more effective, right? Right, so you put J's inside of the water and just store it up inside of it, incorporate it, right? So your footbath is supposed to last for only 1 day. So every day you come to the poultry house, you're supposed to change your footbath in order for the microorganism to get rid of it. So how do you use your footbath? When you're entering inside of the poultry house, whether you're entering at any time at all, you're entering the poultry house, you just dip your foot and allow the bottom of your shoes to incorporate with the water, just like that, right? After which, you can always shake it off and you do both feet, right? And then you enter inside of the poultry unit, right? So we are inside of the poultry unit now, and we are going to prepare what we call our brooding area. So this is a brooding area which is already set up, right? So I can bring you through the procedure of setting up your brooding area. So a brooding area can be any confined area within your poultry house, right? So your poultry house doesn't have to be domesticated and beautiful like how you're seeing here. You can always be creative and build your poultry house according to your financial gain, right? To how you can manage. Okay, so therefore, depending on the amount of chickens that you're going to rear, you can build your poultry house according, because one chicken is recommended 1 square feet, right? So 1 square feet per bird, right? So in your poultry house, it can be a raised brooding area. And a raised brooding area meaning that you build an area on a height inside of your brooding area. So if you have a poultry house that is very small, you can build a coop or above. You can raise a coop and build it as your brooding area. So whenever you're brooding there, you can always take them out and put them on the lower level. So that doesn't take up a lot of space within your poultry house, right? So first of all, when you're preparing your brooding area, you have to sanitize the surface area. So how you sanitize the surface area, you can always use a chemical, an insecticide, to spray out the area first. Then what you can do, you can use your white lime and whitewash the area. So the whitewash will help in reducing the microorganisms that will build up over a period of time inside your poultry unit. You have to cobweb down to get rid of all the cobwebs, right? Or you have to wipe down your light bulbs, right? Ensure that your light bulbs are working, right? Ensure that you don't have any ends that is loose. So you have to practice safety first, right? Ensure that you put in your sawdust, right? So your sawdust, which we call litter, that is the correct name, right? So you can use your sawdust. Otherwise, if you don't have sawdust, you can use straw, bagasse, or any other suitable, you can also use sand as well, any other suitable matter which you can use to in order to get your unit up. So just utilize your resources around, right? Okay, so once you put in your sawdust inside of it, then what you do, you put newspaper over it. So you can use newspaper, cardboard, or any other material which would cover the sawdust. Why we cover the sawdust is just to prevent the newly born chickens from incorporating with the sawdust, from eating it up. Because if they eat it up, because newborn chickens are curious, so they tend to pick on that is a habit that they have from a tender age up. So you don't want them to pick up any little thing to block up their digestive system. So you prevent that. And we put the paper on it and it lasts for 5 days. So within 5 days you can always remove your paper and allow them to incorporate themselves with the sawdust or litter. Right? During the process of 5 days, you will always change the papers if the papers are messed up. Right? So you can always change the papers. Every morning you arrive at the brooding area, always sanitize everything. The feed trays, waterers, ensure that your chickens get fresh water. And you add some mineralites plus or superboosa inside of your water to always give them energy and hydrate them. Always turn on your lights to maintain that temperature which the chickens are coming from, right? So we turn on our lights to ensure that the temperature is set just like how when they're coming from the incubator, right? So they have to have that same temperature while they're traveling and they reach here, right? Sanitize your waterers and your feed trays. Right, ensure that anything that you're putting inside of your unit is clean and fresh, right? So after you sanitize your waterers, you fill them up and allow them to rest inside of the poultry unit to maintain that room temperature. So you put them inside so that they gather that room temperature, right? So after which now you put your superboosa or your mineralites plus inside of it, for them to get that as soon as they arrive, because remember they are going to travel, they're traveling and they will be under a little bit of stress. So you have that for them so they rehydrate, right? So after they arrive now to the poultry unit, you're going to open the cover of the boxes to allow them to get a bit of air, right? After which now you're going to take 12 of the chickens out of the box, each corner of the box, so you're going to weigh them. 12 of the chickens supposed to weigh 1 pound, right? So once you find that you're not getting out 1 pound out of 12 of them, that means to the fact that you got a lower grade of the chickens, because you have A grade, B and C, right? Okay, so continue to watch as we go through the process of broiler production.